High School, Baringo County, 6, Bunyore Girls High School, Vihiga County, 7, Bura Girls High School, Taita Taveta, 8, Butere Girls High School, Kakamega County, 9, Chavakali Boys High School, Vihiga County, 10, Chewoyet National School, West Pokot County, 11, Chianda High School, Siaya County, 12, Elbagon Secondary School, Nakuru County, 13, Elsa Secondary School, Isiolo County, 14, Endarasha Boys High School, Nyeri County, 15, Garbatula High School, Isiolo County, 16, Hola Boys Secondary School, Tana River County, 17, Iku Boys High School, Darakanidi County, 18, Isiolo Boys Secondary School, Isiolo County, Isiolo Girls Secondary School, Isiolo County, 20, Jomo Kenyatta Girls High School, Nakuru County, 21, Kabare Girls High School, Kirinyaga County, 22, Kabianga High School, Kericho County, 23, Kaborok Girls Secondary School, Kericho County, 24, Kagumo High School, Nyeri County, 25, Kainok Mixed Secondary School, Turkana County, 26, Kanga High School, Migori County, 27, Kanjuri High School, Nyeri County, 28, Kaplelach Secondary School, Bomet County, 29, Kaplong Girls High School, Bomet County, 30, Kaumoni Boys Secondary School, Makueni County, 31, Kilgoris Boys High School, Narok County, 32, Kina Secondary School, Isiolo County, 33, Kipsigis Girls High School, Kericho County, 24, Kirimara High School, Nyeri County, 35, Kisii High School, Kisii County, 36, Kisima Girls High School, Samburu County, 37, Kisumu Girls High School, Kisumu County, 38, Kitale School Secondary, Trans Nzoia County, 39, Kitui School, Kitui County, 40, Kombeni Girls Secondary School, Kilifi County, 41, Lamu Girls Secondary School, Lamu County, 42, Lodwar Boys High School, Turkana County, 43, Loreto High School, Limuru, Kiambu County, 44, Loreto High School, Matundu, Usingishu County, 45, Machakos School, Machakos County, 46, Maralal High School, Samburu County, 47, Mary Mount Secondary School, Nakuru County, 48, Matiliku Boys High School, Makueni County, 49, Matongo Boys High School, Nyamira County, 50, Matuga Girls Secondary School, Kwale County, 51, Matunguru Girls Secondary School, Machakos County, 52, Mazeras Girls Memorial Secondary School, Kwale County, 53, Mbita High School, Homa Bay County, 54, Metkei Girls Secondary School, Elgeyo Marakwet County, 55, Moi Forces Academy, Lanet, Nakuru County, 56, Moi Girls High School, Eldoret, Singishu County, 57, Moi High School, Mbiruri, Embu County, 58, Moi Kapsowar Girls High School, Elgeyo Marakwet County, 59, Molo Academy Boys Secondary School, Nakuru County, 60, Muranga High School, Muranga County, 61, Muswani Secondary School, Kitui County, 62, Kwani Boys Secondary School, Makueni County, 63, Najile Boys Secondary School, Kitui County, 64, Nekel Boys High School, Kajiado County, 65, Nakuru Girls High School, Nakuru County, 66, Napelilin Boys Secondary School, Turkana County, 67, Narumoru Boys Secondary School, Nyeri County, 68, Narumoru High School, Nyeri County, Nyoto Boys High School, Makueni County, 69, 70, Njoro Boys High School, Nakuru County, 71 Nyoro Girls High School, Nakuru County, 72 Makwene Girls Secondary School, Meru County, 73 Nyambaria Boys High School, Nyamira County, 74 Nyeri High Secondary School, Nyeri County, 75 Oletipis Girls High School, Narok County, 76 Ol Kajiado High School, Kajiado County, 77 Osen Girls High School, Baringo County, 78 Our Lady Consolata Mugoiri Girls High School, Muranga County, 79 Our Lady of Lourdes Nyambururu Girls High School, Kisii County, 80 Our Lady of Victory Girls High School, Kibnyamberai, Nandi County, 81 Our Ladies Girls Secondary School, Elgeyo Marakwet, 82 Ribe Boys High School, Kilifi County, 83 Ribe Girls High School, Kilifi County, 84 Santa Maria Girls Secondary School, Cheptulon, Elgeyo Marakwet County, 85 Sericho Secondary School, Isiolo County, 86 Sironga Girls High School, Nyamira County, 87 St. Angela Girls High School, Kitui County, 88 St. Anne's Mudale Girls Secondary School, Mudale Girls School, Kitui County, 89 St. Bonaventure Kaheti Boys School, Nyeri County, 90 St. Girls Mulutu Secondary School, Kitui County, 91 St. Joseph Nyabigena Boys High School, Kisii County, 92 St. Josephine Bahita Masinga Girls High School, Machakos County, 93 St. Martin Katozweni Second School, Makueni County, 94 St. Mary's Girls High School, Meru County, 95 St. Michael Kaba High School, Machakos County, 96 St. Patrick High School, 10 Elgeyo Marakwet County, 97 St. Teresa Tartar Girls Secondary School, West Pokot, 98 St. Thomas Girls Secondary School, Kilifi County, 99 Tenwek High School, Bomet County, 100 The Hill School Girls Eldoret, Uasin County, 101 Turkana Girls School, Turkana County, 102 Utumishi Girls Academy, Nakuru County, 103 Vihiga Friends High School, Vihiga County, 104 Voi Boys High School, Taita Taveta County, and 105 Wenje Secondary School, Tana River County. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I lay.
Before the next set of papers, allow me to recognize in our public gallery today Arizona International College students from Mavoko, Machakos County, Kerigo Junior Primary School from Bere North, Embu County, Misuuni Secondary School, Kibwezi East from Makueni County,
mimi kule mashinani,
and in our speakers gallery,
Kenyatta High School from Mogaya, Nyeri,
na kusaidia rais wetu Academy from
Kwa hivyo karibuni sana bunge.
Nyoro.
Hapa ndipo pale tunatengeza sheria, ile sheria ya Mayeda, kule kwetu tunaita Mayeda. Ile string rail kwa kizungu inaitwa string rail. Hapa ndio tumeitengeza ili na nyinyi mpate kulipwa. Ile petition ya kule Kiwayu ya kukomboa ile ardhi zilizonyakuliwa, hapa ndio tumefanya ile petition. Zile motion za diabetic hapa ndio tumezifanya, za ugonjwa wa sukari. Yale maswali mengi ya tofauti, ile mikoko ya ndau, hapa ndio tulifanya mkaendelea kukata mikoko na kulinda mazingira. Zile shule zilizofungwa kule Basuba kwa miaka 6, hili bunge ndio lilifungua zile shule. Wazee wa mtaa hapa bungeni ndio sisi tuliweka pesa, na wazee wa mtaa ambao wengine ni mko hapo wanapata pesa. Mambo mengi, bajeti nyingi, ile barabara kule kupitia rais wetu na hili bunge ndio imeweka pesa kutengeza barabara ya kwanza Lamu Mashariki, ambapo Lamu Mashariki kulikuwa hakuna hata inchi moja ya barabara. Hili bunge mambo mengi zile kujenga zile kwa lugha ya kimombo inaitwa sea walls, ngome jeti. Hili bunge ndio imeweka ile pesa pale kutengeneza ile miundo misingi kule kwetu. Hili bunge ndio imeleta stima kule kwetu. Zile shida za generator hapa ndio tunatetea, na hapa ndio tunatarajia chairman ako hapa yanisikia, kuna shida kwetu upande wa Father Ward, ya upande wa stima. Yeye ndio atufanyie ile tatizo, tutatulia, tuwekee pesa, tuwekewe line itoke Magogoni iende kule Father Ward. Hili bunge hili ndio linafanya kazi yote, ile matibabu, hata zile pesa za county hapa zinatoka hapa kwa hili bunge ndio mnapata kule. Kwa hivyo karibuni sana bunge letu la kitaifa. Asante. Na bonde la Ufa linawapenda, imesema asante. Na la magharibi pia.
Unajua tukimpa nafasi mbunge wa Lamu Mashariki atachukua kipindi chote cha leo. Kwa hivyo wacha itoshe, tunakaribisha wakaaji wa Lamu Mashariki hapa kwenye bunge waweze kuona mbunge wao akiwa kazini, akiwa hodari na kuwatetea mambo ya kwao. Leader of Majority, are you?
Honorable Speaker, pia nichukue nafasi hii niwakaribishe hao wa Kenya kutoka eneo bunge la Lamu Mashariki. Na vile mbunge wao alivyosema, hili ndilo nyumba ambalo la wafanyia kazi kupitia kwa mbunge wao, mama ambaye ni mama mchapakazi. Na huwa watetea vizuri sana watu wa Lamu. Na pongezi mheshimiwa wa Lamu Mashariki na karibuni kwa bunge la kitaifa.
Mheshimiwa mbunge wa Kikuyu, uelewe kanuni za bunge. Ukianza kwa Kiswahili umalize na kusema.
Ni sawa Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, ningeomba niwasilishe mbele ya bunge hili ripoti ya kamati ya fedha na mipango ya kiuchumi wa nchi kwa niaba ya mwenyekiti wa kamati hii. Ripoti ya sessional paper ama ripoti ya karatasi ya ilani namba 7. Unajua Mheshimiwa Spika, ningesema karatasi ya ilani, wale watu wa bara hawangeelewa tunasema nini. Karatasi ya ilani nambari 7 ya mwaka wa 2026 ya National Infrastructure Fund ama kwa lugha ya Kiswahili idara ya miundo msingi ya kitaifa ama mpangilio wa hazina ya mpangilio ya miundo msingi ya kitaifa. Ripoti ambayo imetayarishwa na kamati ya fedha na mipango ya kiuchumi ya kitaifa. Nilikuwa nawasilisha hiyo kwa niaba ya mwenyekiti ambaye pia ni mbunge wa Molo, ambaye alikuwa amechelewa kidogo hapo nje lakini ameingia, lakini niwasilishe hiyo ripoti kwa niaba yake. Mheshimiwa Spika.
Umepigana kabisa na umejaribu sana, na mbunge wa Molo ameweza kuwasili, na katika kanuni nambari 6 ulikuwa uko na ilani ya kutoa kwenye bunge hili. Nimeona ile mbio Mheshimiwa Ishungu ameleta kwako. Ameona hii Kiswahili ya Lamu italeta shida.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, before I move the motion is to congratulate the Leader of Majority Party for attempting to speak in a language that resembles Swahili. but honestly, Honorable Speaker, I just walked in with my report. So I'm also wondering which report the Leader of Majority was tabling. But however, the report is now here and has been tabled. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that this House adopts the report of the Departmental Committee of Finance and National Planning on its consideration of the session paper number 7 of 2026 on the National Infrastructure Fund investment policy laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 27th of August 2026, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 28B of the National Infrastructure Fund Act of 2026, that this House approves session paper number 7 of 2026 on the National Infrastructure Fund investment policy, subject to the proposed amendments as contained in our report. I thank you, Honorable Chairperson.
Honorable members, for the convenience of the House, there is a supplementary order paper. We shall, for the convenience of the House, reorder the order paper. We shall prosecute orders number 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Then we shall come back to order number 7. Call out the next order.
Order number 8, procedural motion, reduction of publication period of specified bills.
Leader of Majority.
Honorable Speaker, today is closing day. That is why you see there's a lot of excitement even when we converse in Swahili, as we try to match Honorable Rueda's Swahili. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give that to move that pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 120, this House resolves to reduce the publication period of the following bills from 14 days to 8 days. One is the County Government's Retirement Scheme Bill, National Assembly Bill number 57 of 2026, and two is the State Corporations Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 58 of 2026. Honorable Speaker, as I said, it's just a procedural motion, and I wish to request that we support this procedural motion to just reduce the publication period from 14 to 8 days, so that the committee that are dealing with these two bills are able to proceed, have the bills published, and we finalize with them, including public participation over the recess period, after we close for the recess that we are proceeding on after today. And we can begin second reading of these two bills as soon as we resume at the end of next month. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move, and I want to request the member for Kilifi and my deputy, Honorable Owen Baya, to second.
Owen.
Honorable Speaker, I do second. Thank you.
Honorable members, allow me then to propose the question that pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 120, this House resolves to reduce the publication period of the following bills from 14 days to 8 days. Number 1, the County Government's Retirement Scheme Bill, National Assembly Bill number 57 of 2026, and the State Corporations Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 58 of 2026. I therefore put the question that pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 120, this House resolves to reduce the publication period for the following bills from 14 days to 8 days. Number 1, the County Government's Retirement Bill, National Assembly Bill number 57 of 2026, and the State Corporations Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill of number 58 of 2026. As many as are of that opinion say, order. Order, members. Order. Please acquaint yourselves with the standing orders. I put the question that pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 120, this House resolves to reduce the publication period for the following bills from 14 to 8 days. The County Government's Retirement Scheme Bill, National Assembly Bill number 57 of 2026, and the State Corporations Amendment Bill, National Assembly's Bill number 58 of 2026. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Order number 9, motion. The Senate amendments to the Public Finance Management Amendment Bill, number 4 Bill, National Assembly Bill number 45 of 2024. Question to be put.
Order, members. Honorable members, I put the question that the House do agree with the report of the Committee of the Whole House on its consideration of the Senate amendments to the Public Finance Management Amendment Bill number 4, National Assembly Bill number 45 of 2024. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Order number 10, the County Government's Retirement Scheme Bill, National Assembly Bill number 57 of 2026, first reading. A bill for an act of Parliament to establish the County Government Retirement Scheme for eligible county state officers, public officers, and employees in the service of the county governments, county government agencies, and associated organizations for connected purposes. Order number 11, the State Corporations Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 58 of 2026, first reading. A bill for an act of Parliament to amend the State Corporations Act.
Next order.
Order number 12, motion. Consideration of session of paper number 7 of 2026 on the National Infrastructure Fund investment policy.
Majority, no. Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Finance. You have a motion under 12. The session of paper. Move.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that pursuant to Section 28B of the National Infrastructure Fund Act of 2026, that this House approves. Thank you, Leader. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that this House adopts the report of the Independent Committee on Finance and National Planning on its consideration of the session of paper number 7 of 2026 on the National Infrastructure Fund investment policy, laid on the table of the House on Thursday, the 27th of August 2026, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 28B of the National Infrastructure Fund Act 2026, that this Honorable House approves the session of paper number 7 of 2026 on the National Infrastructure Fund investment policy, subject to the proposed amendments as contained in the schedule of the supplementary order paper. So, Honorable Speaker, the Department of Committee on Finance and National Planning has discharged its mandate by considering the session of paper and engaging relevant stakeholders on the proposed investment policy for the National Infrastructure Fund. The committee has carefully examined the policy against the provisions of the National Infrastructure Fund Act 2026 and has identified a number of areas that require strengthening to ensure that the fund operates within a clear, transparent, prudent, and accountable investment framework. Honorable Speaker, allow me to highlight the key observations and recommendations that have been made by the committee. The committee did observe that the session of paper does not provide a sufficiently comprehensive investment policy framework to guide the fund in making investment decisions in a consistent, transparent, and prudent manner. In particular, the policy does not adequately set out the investment guardrails relating to eligible and priority infrastructure sectors, project selection and ranking, commercial viability, financial returns, capital mobilization, portfolio allocation, exposure limits, leverage, risk management, liquidity, governance, and monitoring. The absence of these. Honorable Speaker, please protect me from the consultations that are happening.
Honorable members, I know it's closing day, but the excitement is too high. It is too high. I know you're going for recess, you're excited, but we need to hear. So keep it manageable and utilize the grounds and the rules behind me.
Honorable Speaker, the chair for the Committee of Water. seem to be very excited by the Honorable Jamatia. I'm hoping they are discussing how to take water to Baringo and not. Honorable Speaker, liquidity, governance, monitoring and reporting. The absence of these overreaching parameters may result in inconsistent investment decisions and expose the fund to unnecessary financial, operational and governance risks. The committee therefore recommends that the session paper be amended to provide for a comprehensive investment policy framework, establishing the principal investment guardrails applicable to the fund and enabling the board to operationalize detailed investment policies in accordance with the fund's mandate and national infrastructure priorities. Honorable Speaker, the committee further observed that the session paper does not adequately provide for validation of the ability and willingness of intended users or consumers to pay for the services to be provided by proposed investment infrastructure projects. A project may have sound technical designs and strong project demand, but may nonetheless fail to generate sustainable revenues if the intended users cannot afford the applicable charges or are unwilling to pay for them. The assessment is therefore important in determining appropriate tariffs, user charges, revenue projections, and ultimately the commercial viability of the projects. The committee therefore recommends that the session paper be amended to require demand validation to include an assessment of the ability to pay, willingness to pay of the willingness to pay of the target consumers or the users of the project. Madam Speaker, the committee also observes that the paper does not provide sufficient clarity on the minimum commercial viability requirements for projects or the treatment of proposals that depart from board-approved financing parameters. The committee noted that requiring projects to demonstrate capacity to support a minimum level of non-recourse project debt would provide an objective measure of bankability, while strategically important projects may, in exceptional circumstances, require restructuring or government support measures to improve their commercial viability. The committee further observed that any departure from approved financing parameters should be properly justified and assessed to ensure that the fund is not exposed to disproportionate financial and commercial risks. The committee therefore recommends that the session paper be amended to prescribe a minimum 60% non-recourse project debt requirement relative to total project cost, provide for appropriate project restructuring or government support measures for strategically important projects that do not meet the threshold, and require that any departure from board-approved financing parameters must be supported by a documented assessment of the associated risks, returns, debt service capacity, fund exposure, and capital protection measures. Madam Speaker, the committee further observed that the session paper currently appear to treat the prescribed 7% return as applicable benchmark without sufficiently distinguishing between a minimum capital preservation threshold and the fund's target commercial return. The committee notes that the investment decisions should require a positive risk-adjusted expected equity return, taking into account the risks associated with each project, and that the 7% threshold should serve as an absolutely minimum rather than the fund's target return. The committee also further observed that strategically important projects may, in exceptional circumstances, require project restructuring or government support measures to achieve the minimum return, and that projects which remain unable to meet the minimum threshold may be appropriately supported through government's fiscal or budgetary framework. The committee, Honorable Speaker, further recommends that the session paper be amended to require a positive risk-adjusted expected equity return subject to an absolute minimum expected equity return of 7%, clarify that the 7% threshold is a capital preservation floor and not the fund's target commercial return, and provide for project restructuring or applicable government support measures for strategically important projects which remain below the threshold and may consider appropriate government fiscal or budgetary framework. Madam Speaker, the committee further observed that the session paper places considerable emphasis on financial, commercial, and regulatory considerations that does not adequately provide for a structured assessment of the technical readiness of proposed infrastructure projects. A project may be financially viable, but still face significant implementation challenges if its design, technology, site readiness, procurement arrangements, or other technical requirements are not sufficiently developed. The committee also notes that certain infrastructure projects may require government support measures before they can reach financial close or commence implementation. The committee also recommends that the session paper be amended to provide that technical readiness shall be assessed against a technical readiness framework developed by the board, and that the assessment shall also establish whether the project requires government support measures. Madam Speaker, the committee was particularly concerned that the session paper does not provide sufficiently detailed requirements for assessing the major risks associated with individual infrastructure projects. Infrastructure investments are exposed to multiple and interconnected risks that may affect project costs, completion, revenues, operations, debt repayment, and ultimately the fund's expected returns. The committee further notes that Section 25(4) of the National Infrastructure Act of 2026 contemplates a risk management framework for the fund. The committee was therefore of the view that to the extent that risk management forms part of the investment criteria and guardrails of the investment policy, it should be expressly incorporated into the sessional paper. The committee, Honorable Speaker, further recommends that the sessional paper be amended to require projects to comply with the fund's risk management framework and demonstrate adequate assessment of financial, construction and completion, operational, user demand, legal and regulatory, environmental and socio, political, foreign exchange interests, together with any other material project-specific risks. Madam Speaker, the committee also considered the implications of government support measures provided to infrastructure projects. Government guarantees commitments, undertakings, and other forms of support that may require financial obligation or exposure over the life of a project, even where such obligations do not arise immediately. The committee was therefore of the view that the potential contingent liabilities should be identified and quantified at the project appraisal stage. The committee further recommends that the sessional paper be amended to provide that a project which obtains government support measures shall include the estimated contingent liabilities for the duration of the project. Madam Speaker, the committee further observes that Section 3.2 of the sessional paper does not comprehensively reflect all the matters required against Section 25 of the National Infrastructure Fund Act of 2026. Section 25(2) uses mandatory language requiring that the investment policy shall specify the prescribed matters. The committee was therefore of the view that these statutory requirements provide the substantive yardstick against which the investment policy should be assessed. The committee also observed that the sessional paper does not comprehensively provide for proposed projects, expected rates of return, or specific projects, asset allocation, portfolio distribution, leverage ratios, and exposure limits per sector and per project. The committee is therefore recommending that Section 3.2 be amended to align the sessional paper with the requirements of Section 25 of the National Infrastructure Fund Act of 2026 and to ensure that all matters required under the Act are expressly provided for. Madam Speaker, the committee considered the proposed validity and review period of investment policy, Section 25(3) of the National Infrastructure Fund Act, which expressly provides for the validity of the investment policy for a period of 5 years. The committee notes that the proposal for an annual review of the investment policy may not be consistent, therefore, with the statutory framework as provided for by the NIF Act. The committee therefore recommends that the session paper be amended to ensure that the validity and review of the investment policy are aligned with the 5-year prescribed period under Section 25(3) of the National Infrastructure Act of 2026. Madam Speaker, the committee further considered the proposed maximum sector and single project exposure limits. While recognizing the importance of prudent portfolio management, the committee is of the view that rigid application of exposure limits may not adequately take account the correlation between sectors and projects, economies of scale, liquidity requirements, or the wider economic impact of strategically important infrastructure investments. The committee therefore recommends that the session paper be amended to provide that the board may adjust the maximum sector and single project exposure limits based on an assessment of the correlation between sectors and projects, economies of scale, liquidity requirements, and the economic impact of the sectors, all project or economic growth and employment creation. Madam Speaker, finally, the committee observed that the session paper does not provide sufficiently explicit requirements for identifying and disclosing actual, potential, and perceived conflicts of interest in the appraisal and approval of investment projects. The committee therefore notes that conflict of interest may undermine the objectivity and the integrity of investment decisions and expose the fund to reputational, financial and governance risks. The committee is therefore of the view that conflict of interest disclosure should form an integral part of the project appraisal and approval process, particularly where public or state officers are involved. The committee therefore recommends that the session paper be amended to require that every project appraisal and approval must be accompanied by a statement disclosing any actual, potential, or perceived conflict of interest involving a public or state officer in accordance with the Conflict of Interest Act. Madam Speaker, the committee's recommendations are intended to strengthen the National Infrastructure Fund investment policy and ensure that the fund is guided by clear investment guidelines, sound financial principles, robust risk management, and appropriate governance safeguards. The committee is persuaded that a strong and comprehensive investment policy is essential to protecting the fund's capital, while enabling it to mobilize investments towards infrastructure projects that contribute meaningfully to Kenya's economic growth, employment creation, and national development priorities. Madam Speaker, I wish to commend the members of the Committee of the Finance and National Planning, our very dedicated members of our Secretariat, for their commitment and diligence in processing and considering this session paper. I would also like to appreciate the leadership of this House, under the leadership of the Speaker, the Clerk, and the Leader of Majority and the leadership, for the guidance that they've provided to our committee when processing this investment policy, Honorable Speaker. You will notice that the amendments that we are proposing is almost a total overhaul to this particular session paper, Honorable Speaker. And this is because we have engaged extensively with the members of the public, because the issue of having this investment policy is not a choice. It is what was approved in this House, that there must be an investment policy that must be approved by this Honorable House, Honorable Speaker. I therefore beg to move and request the great member for the people of Keses, the Honorable CPA Ruto, to second.
Honorable Ruto.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. The Leader of Majority has been prophesying that coming next term, I'll be in the leadership of this committee. Madam Speaker, I rise to second this motion on the sessional paper number 7 of 2026 on the establishment of National Infrastructure Fund policy. Madam Speaker, all of us understand that this Honorable House just recently, we approved the bill that has culminated into an act of parliament on the National Infrastructure Fund that has already commenced the work of operationalization. Madam Speaker, this policy, as read out by the chair from the committee point of view, is a very essential document. It's a document that will give guidelines on the operationalization of this national infrastructure, culminating from project identification, implementation, and even a review thereafter. With the challenges that has come with it, with the shortcomings that the proposers or the drafters of this particular policy are overlooked. But this committee and public engagement, through stakeholder engagement, were able to pick out on critical issues that this House have to be attentive to it, and they have to be alert to it, so that we don't just approve a paper that is going to open up space for misuse of this particular fund. However, it is the right thing that has come at the right time, so that we're able to guide on how projects have to be identified, how projects have to be picked, so that it can be able to meet the minimum requirement of the viability in terms of the commercial nature, commerciability in nature. We know all this with the objective that it seeks out to accelerate and fast-track delivery of critical projects that are of life-transforming projects of impact in nature. And therefore, it is very important for this House to be able to look at it well, so that that objective shall not be diverted from, but rather that objective shall be met by this particular policy. And I want to encourage that as we look at this particular policy, let us discuss and let us ensure that at that moment of amendment, let us tighten the guardrails so that this cannot be abused. Remembering that it is an open check that has been created and has been specified that the resources which are being earmarked for this particular fund will be utilized for specific projects that are of impact in nature and that are of commercial in nature, so that we're able to attain sustainability. And Madam Speaker, with that I've said, I beg to second that this motion proceed and that this motion shall be amended duly as guided by the chair. Thank you. I beg to second.
Honorable members, Honorable Kerema, order. Honorable members, I therefore propose the question that pursuant to Section 28A of the National... Yes, sorry. Sorry, I missed the supplementary order paper. Honorable members, I therefore propose that this House adopts the report of the Departmental Committee on the Finance and National Planning on its consideration of the sessional paper number 7 of 2026 of the National Infrastructure Fund Investment Policy laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 27th August 2026, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 28B of the National Infrastructure Fund Act 2026, approves sessional paper number 7 of 2026 on the National Infrastructure Fund Investment Policy, subject to the proposed amendments as contained in the schedule to the order paper. Honorable members, yes, I will give you Majority Leader, but I want to give the member of Olkalau to make his maiden speech. As is the practice of Parliament, Honorable Sami Kamau will be heard uninterrupted. No points of orders, no points of information, uninterrupted. Go ahead, Honorable Member for Olkalau.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It is with great humility and honor that I rise to make my maiden speech as the Member of Parliament representing the great people of Olkalau constituency. From the outset, Madam Speaker, let me state that I stand here as a clear statement that bad leadership can be defeated. I also stand before this House as a reminder that sovereign power belongs to the people. When institutions are compromised, the people will always rise to defend their democratic rights, even at the greatest personal cost. First and foremost, I give all glory and honor to Almighty God for this victory. There were many moments when all I had was prayers, strengthened through fasting. Today I stand as a living testimony that God not only hears our prayers, but answers them in his own perfect time. He alone can transform a man once referred to as a chokora into a member of Parliament. To my dear wife, Mama C, and our family, thank you for your unwavering love, prayers, patience, and sacrifice. Your support has been my greatest source of strength, and I remain forever grateful. To my party leader, the second Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, the sixth President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, thank you for believing in me and mentoring me in leadership. Even after I lost the 2022 parliamentary election, you entrusted me the privilege of serving in the office of the Deputy President before you were ceremoniously removed from office. Under your leadership, the Democracy for the Citizen Party, DCP, has demonstrated that a political party can conduct free, fair, credible, and verifiable nominations while upholding democratic ideals during a by-election. Your guidance and confidence in me played an immense role in this victory. To my brother and our party's indefatigable foot soldier, Senator John Medho, words cannot adequately express my gratitude for your sacrifice, commitment, and tireless effort. You have exemplified bravery, leadership, and I have no doubt that you deserve your position as our party Secretary General. Your star continues to rise. I also wish to sincerely thank the 18 other honorable members of this House and the Senate who sacrificed their time and resources to campaign alongside me in Olkalau. Your solidarity and commitment will never be forgotten. Asanteni sana, wako hapa. To the great people of Olkalau constituency, I offer my deepest gratitude. You have placed Olkalau on the national map and written your names in the annals of Kenya's democratic history. Despite unprecedented attempts to influence your decision through bribery in the form of rice, beans, mattresses, shoes, money, transformers, rusty trains, boats, you remained steadfast. You voted with courage, protected the sanctity of your vote, and proved that the will of the people can never be bought. You are the true heroes of our democracy. Allow me at this juncture to welcome everyone in the country and beyond to come and benchmark with Olkalau on how to eat but still vote wisely. Allow me also to pay tribute to my predecessors, beginning with Engineer Morioki Karoe, whose efforts through the establishment of the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, has transformed countless lives. I also honor the late Honorable David Kiaraho, who ensured that many needy students accessed education through bursary. May his soul continue resting in peace. I pledge to build upon the legacy by expanding access to education through fair, transparent, and undiscriminatory bursary allocation. I will work to improve school infrastructure, increase household electricity connectivity, enhance our road networks, expand access to quality healthcare, and ensure that every promise made to the people of Olkalau is pursued with diligence and integrity. Madam Speaker, I joined the 13th Parliament at an extraordinary moment in our nation's history. For the first time, we witnessed young Kenyans from the Gen Z generation breach Parliament's security in protest against the proposed finance bill, expressing deep frustration with the state of our nation. We have also witnessed for the first time in our constitutional history the impeachment of a sitting deputy president for nothing but speaking truth to power. At a time when Parliament is increasingly perceived by many Kenyans as an appendage of the executive, I come to this House carrying the voice of ordinary citizens. I carry the cry of mothers detained in hospital after giving birth because they cannot afford medical bills. I ask, where is Linda Mama? I carry the cries of millions of unemployed young people asking, where are their jobs? I come with the cry of students languishing at home due to low capitation and lack of adequate funding to our school and universities and colleges. I carry the concern of hardworking civil servants whose pay slip continue to shrink under the weight of pay as you earn, housing levy, SHA. For many, the pay slip has become a source of pain rather than hope. Madam Speaker, it will be an understatement saying SHA is a flossy, nausea nihilification. I also carry the anguish of families whose loved ones have been abducted, tortured, maimed, or killed. As a nation governed by the rule of law, we must ask ourselves, when will this come to an end? Honorable members, permit me to paraphrase the words of German pastor Martin Nyoro. First, they came for the Gen Zs. I did not speak because I was not a Gen Z. Then they came for the civil servants. I did not speak because I was not a civil servant. Then they came for the deputy president. I did not speak because I was not Rigathi Gachagua. Then they came for the great leaders that have been killed under unclear circumstances and I still remained silent. Then they came for me, and by then, there was no one left to speak for me. Madam Speaker, history teaches that democracy is not lost in one dramatic moment. It is lost when good people choose silence in the face of injustice. As legislators, we must always defend the Constitution, uphold the rule of law, and protect the rights and freedom of every Kenyan, regardless of their political affiliation. The recent rise in gun culture, allegedly under the watch of institutions that ought to protect our citizens, is deeply worrisome and should be condemned by all and sundry. Finally, to the great people of our constituency, thank you once again for demonstrating to the entire nation that power truly belongs to the people. No amount of intimidation, bribery, or abuse of state resources can defeat a determined and united electorate. I pay tribute to Zakaria Kakinya from Rorie Ward and James Moigai from Kaibaga, who paid the ultimate price for exercising their right to vote. May their innocent blood forever hound the perpetrators. Let me equally extend the same to SCORE, who are beaten and maimed by a rogue regime that could not withstand humiliation in Olkalau constituency. We honor you. As I conclude, I'm reminded of the words written to King Belshazzar in the book of Daniel. When they were merrymaking, when they were eating and dancing, when they were enjoying, A lighting came on the wall. These words reached to all entrusted with power. Mene, mene tekel upasin. You have been weighed on the scale and found wanting. Your days are numbered. May God bless Olkalau constituency. May God bless Kenya. And may God bless all of us. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Very well. Very well. We are back to order number 12. Majority Leader.
Honorable Speaker, let me rise to support this motion on consideration of session of paper number 7 of 2026, whose principal objectives, as the chair and the seconder have clearly stated, is one, to provide a very clear framework for investment and management of the national infrastructure funds resources, and to finance commercially viable infrastructure. Honorable Speaker, if you can protect me from the Honorable Ngogoyo. You know, Honorable Speaker, I know Ngogoyo wants to hear me saying something about my friend Ngodho, the Member of Parliament for Olkalau. And this motion has only 5 minutes. If you indulge me an extra 1 minute.
Actually, honorable members, to all of us debating this motion, including the Leader of Majority, yes, it is 5 minutes.
So if you can indulge me, Honorable Speaker, for just an extra 2 minutes, because Honorable Ngogoyo does not know, on sessional papers you have only 5 minutes, including the Leader of Majority, yes, in contribution. So in just 2 minutes, let me just to buy the piece of some immaturity that I see, congratulates the Honorable Member for Olkalau, Ngodho Kamau. A young man that I knew way back in 2021, when we worked together and campaigned, and he lost the Olkalau seat. And following his work in 2021, he has now been elected as a member for Olkalau, and I want to congratulate you. Let me congratulate you and tell you that you have a very short time to serve the people of Olkalau. It may be a position that the people of Olkalau, or indeed any part of Kenya, are being bribed with transformers. But the same people of Olkalau will demand that you deliver power to them and you deliver transformers to them. So even with a well-rehearsed and well-written speech, I congratulate you. But may those who wrote it for you also know that the people will hold you to account, my brother. And you will remember me, Ngodho, because I know I have relatives in Olkalau, and he knows many of my relatives in that constituency. Honorable Speaker, back to this session of paper. We enacted the National Infrastructure Fund Act earlier this year. It was signed into law. A board has already been appointed after competitive recruitment. And now the National Treasury was required to bring this session of paper on the investment policy that will guide us on how we finance commercially viable infrastructure of national significance, Honorable Speaker, how we mobilize both domestic and international finance to be able to finance in an alternative manner without necessarily going back to our taxpayers. Honorable Speaker, this investment policy, with the amendments that have been proposed by the committee, and I must thank the Committee of Finance and National Planning, because when I went through the report this morning, I hear the chairman was surprised that I tabled a report on his behalf. And he forgets when the Speaker approves a report, any committee's report, the office of the Leader of Majority gets a copy signed by the Speaker. And that is why I'm able to table these reports, even in the absence of the chairs. And I did that in Swahili, Honorable Speaker. And when I went through this report and the recommendations that the committee has carried, I could not help but notice that many of the recommendations that the committee is carrying are not recommendations that are coming from members of parliament, are recommendations that came from stakeholders, many of whom are private sector investment bankers, fund managers, who appeared before the committee and sent numerous memoranda in their hundreds. And I think the chair has done that very well, captured all the memoranda that were sent both by private individuals, fund managers, investment bankers, on how we can further improve this investment policy to ensure that we are able to deliver to the people of Kenya. Honorable Speaker, without saying much, let me say I support this report and the recommendations that have gone to improve on what had come from the National Treasury. In fact, I did note, and I was telling the chair yesterday, that I agree with one of the recommendations that sought to remove a minimum of 7.5% return to a positive return. Because you may restrict yourself in a policy like this on a number, and you never achieve that number, you never get investments that have that kind of return. But so long as you say a positive return, and you also restrict what kind of projects you can fund using this fund, because, Honorable Speaker, as we said, it is to finance commercial ventures that are commercially viable, Honorable Speaker. And I want to believe that this investment policy, with the recommendations that have been added by the committee in the adoption report, will go a long way to augmenting what we began in this House when we approved the National Infrastructure Fund Act bill that became an act of Parliament, Honorable Speaker. I therefore beg to support this session of paper approval and seek the support of the House. This is in the interest of the people of Kenya. And as we have said, this investment policy will go beyond the life of this Parliament, will go beyond our own lives. It will go to serve generations of our nation to come, even at a time when we will not be in this House, will not be leaders, but Kenya will remain and will continue to invest in a way that we have returns that benefit generations of our country. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to support.
Honorable members, I know some members are coming to me with issues of statements. I need to reiterate that we reordered the order paper. We are now doing order number 12. We'll do order number 13 and then go back to statements. This motion has only 5 minutes for each speaker. Mayaka, if you intend to speak on this, use the intervention.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to also speak on this very important policy paper. Honorable Speaker, I want to, from the onset, just support this investment policy because, as it has been said by the mover of the motion and majority leader as well, this puts in place a specific framework that will enable the board to actually structure and ensure that the funds are used in the proper place. Honorable Speaker, some of the principles and advantages of this particular policy paper is in the fact that it gives commercial discipline. What I mean by commercial discipline, Honorable Speaker, is that it ensures that a fund that has been put for a specific type of project goes to that particular project. And Honorable Speaker, there are very many projects that have been put under this that are very, very key and very important. You look at different areas that have been considered. There's the transport infrastructure, there's energy, there's water. And for me, Honorable Speaker, especially under transport, where it speaks about not only the road infrastructure, but also the railway infrastructure, which are very key for us because we've seen some of those projects have already taken effect. But Honorable Speaker, what is also very key and very important is about the risk management guardrails that have been included in this particular policy paper. And Honorable Speaker, earlier today, we had a very interesting conversation in a meeting with young people from Kenya and civil society about the freedom of debt management in our country. And one of the issues that came up was the fact that we don't seem to be having proper mechanisms, and we've not been able to really review our Public Finance Management Act for us to be able to make sure that we are proactively managing the issue of debt in our country. Honorable Speaker, in this particular policy paper, it talks about a cap for the projects, where it says that 20% maximum of assets to a single project, allocated to a single project. It further says that for every sector, there's a limit of exposure, that any single sector cannot exceed 40% of the total assets, which, Honorable Speaker, is also something that is very key and very important. Honorable Speaker, looking at the area of water and irrigation infrastructure, we are a country that is very pro-agriculture. And for me, this is a very important space that the policy seeks to also ensure that is well guarded and well financed, because we don't have a lot of counties that are actually productive in terms of agriculture. But when we have a situation where the policy intends to actually make sure that there's water supply water storage, dams, irrigation, bulk water infrastructure, and especially for the arid and the semi-arid areas, then it means that we will not only be focusing on just the food basket counties of this country, but that we'll also be focusing on other areas that are not currently productive. Honorable Speaker, on the issue of national priority infrastructure, and especially our airports and the railway, as I had alluded to. For us, like for me personally, who comes from Nyamira County, this is very exciting because with the review of the structure and the plan for the SGR and the fact that it is now going to also pass through Nyamira in an area called Ikonge, for me this is very exciting because the policy now puts into action what was put into paper. And it ensures that the National Infrastructure Fund is actually being realistic and that it is actually being put into proper use that will assist this country of ours. Because, Honorable Speaker, as it has been said, this is one of those things that you call a perpetual policy document that we do have. A document that ensures that we, as a country, we are outliving the things that we are doing currently to make sure that future generations are also benefiting from this. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, with those few remarks, I beg to support and I submit. I thank you.
Very well. Honorable Elachi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I also rise to support and to say that, Madam Speaker, this is one policy that will help us, first of all, to shift from the challenges we've always faced, as my colleagues have said, of debt, but also now to go and look at a lead investment strategy that will help us to move. Madam Speaker, when you look at the priorities, I think one of the things we must appreciate is that this is one policy that will now protect Kenyans from their interests and be able, Kenyans will be able also to just follow through and to question. Because now we have priority investments. We have projects that you can look at. You can say we will have an airport. You can say, Madam Speaker, we shall have a port. We will have electricity. We'll have water. But more importantly, when you say that, you realize you are able to say where you are picking the resources, how you are going to use those resources. And Kenyans are able also to look at that. Madam Speaker, Kenyans therefore are able to pursue even investment that promotes employment, Madam Speaker, local manufacturing, technology, and many other things that the opportunities of SMEs, agriculture. And so, Madam Speaker, it also gives us a strength within Parliament to oversight, that you are able to oversight better when you have such a policy that opens up. The more important thing we must ask ourselves, Madam Speaker, even as we bring in the investment and what Kenyans will be asking us as Parliament, is that as we look at doing all these big infrastructures, how are we then going to be able, Madam Speaker, to pay the debts that we've had before? Because I know this is now a new way of doing things, which also we should be asking counties on how they can tap on this, Madam Speaker. You realize some of the functions that we have, we need, again, also counties to come in. So that when you're talking of the infrastructure fund, the investments that you want to see, when you're talking about renewable energy, when you're talking about ICT, when we are talking about pharmaceuticals, then the most important thing is to ask yourself, in this, how are we carrying in the counties that have had also a lot of challenges, a lot of debt, and mostly internal debt or domestic debt, Madam Speaker? And so as we even clean up and ensure that we want to see ourselves moving forward, one of the things we should never forget, Madam Speaker, is the pending bills that we have carried also for many years since we started counties. We are talking of Katiba 16, Madam Speaker. One of the challenges, I can tell you, and you know, you were in the Senate, to date, has been that we are carrying debt that is of Kenyans. Forget about even the external debts that we have. So how are we now restructuring ourselves as we go to deal with these big projects to ensure that even the debts we carry, we must ensure that these debts are paid as we move forward. So that is one thing this House has to look at, and so that we are not blamed that we are creating good things that are new, but then we have an older baggage that we are carrying for the country that is not doing well. So lastly, Madam Speaker, even as Kenyans question us, we have to also ask ourselves that as we move forward, the team that is going now to carry this, how will they ensure that these projects will never be elephant projects or will never be derailed, that when you start a project, you must finalize a project. With that, Madam Speaker, I beg to support.
Before the next speaker, allow me to recognize in the public gallery Chairperson Tuyet Secondary School from Chepalungu constituency, Bomet County. We welcome you to observe the proceedings of the House. Marianne, what is out of order?
Madam Speaker, I stand under Standing Order number 95 and ask the mover to reply because we have many statements. Today is closing day and many people have statements that they need to make before the close of the day. Thank you.
Order members. A member has risen in her place so that we will call the mover to reply. I therefore put the question that the mover be called to reply. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the members that have contributed to this particular motion, a session of paper, Honorable Speaker. But to guarantee the honorable members, including my good friend, the Honorable Speaker, there has been a concern that maybe the viability of this project, there are some areas that may not benefit from this particular project because they're not commercially viable. But the way we have drafted this investment policy, we have made sure that anywhere across the Republic of Kenya where infrastructure is needed, there is a way of guaranteeing that it's actually commercially viable, and we shall make sure there's going to be even distribution of those infrastructure projects across the country, Honorable Speaker. I want the great people of Molo, the way, for example, the people of Nyeri enjoy going home and taking 1 hour along that very big highway. That the people of Molo may also enjoy going home and just taking an hour and all the way to Kericho and all the way to Homa Bay, the other side, Honorable Speaker, and they don't have to sleep on the road, Honorable Speaker. What is going to make this possible is this investment policy, Honorable Speaker, because I think it was Honorable Ngodha who said when young people came to us in 2024, they said they do not want any increased in taxation, Honorable Speaker. The development we need as a country will not wait until we have enough resources to do this infrastructure. And that's why, just for example, through the partial privatization, the partial divestiture of Safaricom that they just do the other day, and Kenya Paper, Honorable Speaker, just from interest that is going to accrue from that particular investment, we are going to get around 400 billion shillings, Honorable Speaker. That is money enough to do our airport. That is money enough to do our highways, Honorable Speaker. So we want to guarantee this country that although for every, Honorable Speaker, for every 10 shillings that we collect as taxes, 3.8 shillings of the 10 shillings goes to repayment of interest on our debt. A further 3.2 shillings goes to the payment of the principal of that debt. That means 7 out of the 10 shillings we collect in terms of our taxes just to go to the payment of debt that have been taken during Kibaki's time, during Uhuru's administration. And therefore, it's only 3 shillings that is left to do recurrent expenditures, to do development expenditures. That is why, by the wisdom of Kenya Kwanza administration, they're now looking at what other ways can we use to finance our infrastructure projects, because our infrastructure projects will not wait until we have cleared all the loans, Honorable Speaker, and therefore that is why this particular investment policy is very, very important. With those many remarks, Honorable Speaker, I beg to reply.
Good one. Order, members. Honorable Moreu, order. Honorable members, I therefore put the question, does This House adopts the report of the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning on its consideration of sessional paper number 7 of 2026 on the National Infrastructure Fund Investment Policy laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 27th August 2026, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 28B of the National Infrastructure Fund Act 2026, approves sessional paper number 7 of 2026 on the National Infrastructure Fund Investment Policy, subject to the proposed amendments as contained in the schedule to the order paper. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 13, Committee of the Whole House.
Order members. Honorable members, we are now in the Committee of the Whole for the Trust Administration Bill, National Justice and Legal Affairs. Prosecute the amendment.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that Clause 3 of the bill be amended as shown on the order paper. And what essentially we are doing is to try and break down what the clause on the bill is into a new clause, and purely to expand the scope of application of the Act.
Very well. I therefore propose the question that Clause 3 be amended as proposed by the Chair. I now put the question that Clause 3 be amended as proposed by the Chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that Clause 3 is amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 4.
I propose the question that Clause 4 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. I beg to move that Clause 4 be amended as shown on the order paper. What we are doing again is to tidy it up so that we make a provision to clarify and avoid ambiguity regarding how a trust is to be created. I beg to move.
Very well. I now propose the question that Clause 4 be amended as proposed by the Chair. I now put the question that the Clause 4 be amended as proposed by the Chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that Clause 4 is amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 5.
I propose the question that Clause 5 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that Clause 5 be amended as shown on the order paper. What we are doing is to distinguish between validity and registration and the enforceability of a trust. This is why we have divided the section into the various sub-clauses. Thank you.
Very well. I propose the question that Clause 5 be amended as proposed by the Chair. I now put the question that Clause 5 be amended as proposed by the Chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that Clause 5 is amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 6 and 7.
I propose the question that Clauses 6 and 7 be part of the bill. I put the question that Clauses 6 and 7 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 8.
I propose the question that Clause 8 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. I beg to move that Clause 8 be amended as shown on the order paper, which is simply to delete subclause 3. And the rationale for doing this is that we have to enable charitable trusts to be self-reliant and generate income which is ordinarily applied exclusively towards the objects of the charitable trust. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Very well. I now propose the question that clause 8 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 8 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 8 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 9, 10, 11, and 12.
I propose the question that clauses 9, 10, 11, and 12 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 9, 10, 11, and 12 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 13.
I propose the question that clause 13 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 13 be amended as shown on the order paper. And what we are doing is to have a new subsection which is going to align with the other statutes containing provisions relating to trust administration. Thank you.
Very well. I now propose the question that clause 13 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 13 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21.
I propose the question that clauses 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 22.
I propose the question that clause 22 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 22 be amended as shown on the order paper, which is by inserting the words if any as is shown, and the justification is to align with the discretionary power to appoint an enforcer.
I propose the question that clause 22 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 22 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 22 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 23 and 24.
I propose the question that clauses 23 and 24 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 23 and 24 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 25.
I propose the question that clause 25 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 25 be amended as shown on the order paper. We are actually doing one formal thing, which is to include the words formed for an unlawful purpose to this section, and the justification is to, sorry, let me get this right. 25 is to include where a trust is formed for an unlawful purpose as a ground for refusal to register a trust. Then after that, we are going to delete subparagraphs B and D. For B, we are saying that paragraph is covered by A, which we have amended, and for D, we are saying to remove vetting as a prerequisite to registration and to replace the subjective assessment with an objective and verifiable criteria. That's what we are doing. I beg.
Very well. I propose the question that clause 25 be amended as proposed by the chair. I put the question that clause 25 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 25 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30.
I propose the question that clauses 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 31.
I propose the question that clause 31 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 31 be amended as shown on the order paper. This is the clause on incorporation of trusts. We are first and foremost confirming that an unlawful purpose, which is what we are inserting, should actually be a ground upon which a refusal to incorporate is made. Then after that, just like the other one, we are deleting B for reasons that it is covered by ground A, and we're also deleting ground D, where we are saying the same thing to remove vetting as a prerequisite to incorporation and replace subsequent assessment, replace subjective assessment with objective and verifiable criteria.
I propose the question that clause 31 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 31 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 31 is amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 32, 33, 34, and 35.
I propose the question that clauses 32, 33, 34, and 35 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 32, 33, 34, and 35 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 36.
I propose the question that clause 36 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. Clause 36 is on qualification, disqualification to act as trustee, and we are proposing that we actually amend by deleting B, which calls upon you to be of sound mind to become a trustee. We are saying, in essence, that every person qualifies unless it is proved that you are of unsound mind. The next one we have is by inserting the words or any other written law, because we are only using the act which is given to us, and then we have trusts under other written law, and also we have trusts to be regulated by regulations. So that is the justification. I beg to move.
Very well. I propose a question that clause 36 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 36 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 36 is amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 37.
I propose the question that clause 37 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 37 be amended as shown on the order paper. And what we are doing is that while the clause deals with the appointment of trustees, we have to make it subject to this act, which is what we are going to make here, and also any other written law. So the justification to insert those words is that we have to use this act, and we have also to have any other written law. I beg to move.
Very well. I now propose the question that clause 37 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 37 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I put the question that clause 37 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 38.
I propose the question that clause 38 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 38 be amended as shown on the order paper. Clause 38 is on powers of appointing substitute or additional trustees. And what we are saying here, in essence, is that we have to make that subject to any other written law, just as we have done above, subject to this act, any other written law, or any trustee deed. Thank you. I beg to move.
Very well. I therefore propose the question that clause 38 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 38 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 39.
I propose the question that clause 39 be part of the bill. Mover.
I beg to move that clause 39 be amended as shown on the order paper. This is on the resignation of a trustee, and we are saying that where this happens, it has to be subject to the public trustee, because this is where an appointment of another trustee has to be done, to subject the appointment of the public trustee to enact as a trustee with the provisions of the Public Trustee Act. Purely, those are the reasons.
Very well. I therefore propose a question that clause 39 be amended as proposed by the chair. I put the question that clause 39 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 39 is amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 40.
I propose the question that clause 40 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 40 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 41.
I propose the question that clause 41 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much. I beg to move that clause 41 be amended as shown on the order paper. This is on death or dissolution of a trust. This is subject to sections 37 and 38. We are simply introducing section 38 to be part of to cater for instances of appointment of a substitute or additional trustee where a trustee has been disqualified or otherwise ceases to be a trustee.
Very well. I therefore propose the question that clause 41 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 41 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 41 is amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 42, 43, 44, and 45.
I propose the question that clauses 42, 43, 44, and 45 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 42, 43, 44, and 45 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 46.
I propose the question that clause 46 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 46 be amended as shown on the order paper. We are actually making these trustees who are in default to be liable, and we are saying this is to protect innocent trustees from liability arising out of the acts and omissions of a trustee in default. I beg to...
Very well. I propose the question that clause 46 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 46 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 46 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 47.
I propose the question that clause 47 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 47 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 48.
I propose the question that clause 48 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much. I beg to move that clause 48 be amended as shown on the order paper. There are two proposed amendments, and the rationale is we make a provision provided that a trustee shall obtain any approval required under any other written law prior to lodging an amendment. And the rationale for this is to require a trustee to obtain any relevant consent or approval and under any other written law before lodging an amendment to the trust deed or list of assets with the registrar. I beg to move.
Very well. I therefore propose the question that clause 48 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 48 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 48 is amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 49 and 50.
I propose the question that clauses 49 and 50 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 49 and 50 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 51.
I propose the question that clause 51 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 51 be amended as shown on the order paper. This is power to manage and control trust property. It's a brief section the way it is, a brief clause, but we've broken it down into various sub-provisions so as to allow a trustee to act in the best interest of the beneficiary and allowing them to power to invest, which is a practical extension of the trustee's overarching duty of care. The duty of care bestowed upon them. We have put all this in that long proposed amendment. Thank you. I beg to move.
Very well. I propose the question that clause 51 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 51 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 51 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 52 and 53.
I propose the question that clauses 52 and 53 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 52 and 53 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 54.
I propose the question that clause 54 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 54 be amended as shown on the order paper. Clause 54 deals with the power of sale and release of property. And what we have done is, instead of giving the trustees a blanket power, we have subjected it to this act and any other written law. So the opening words will be subject to this act or any other written law, then where a trustee is authorized. I beg to move.
Very well. I therefore propose the question that clause 54 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 54 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 54 is amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 55, 56, and 57.
I propose the question that clauses 55, 56, and 57 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 55, 56, and 57 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 58.
I propose the question that clause 58 be part of the bill.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 58 be amended as shown on the order paper, and the rationale is to align how to exercise the power of attorney once it is given in a trust. I beg to move.
Very well. I propose the question that clause 58 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 58 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 58 is amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 59.
I propose the question that clause 59 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 59 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 60.
I propose the question that clause 60 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 60 be amended as shown on the order paper, and this is by way of introducing an enforcer to be part of the persons to whom remuneration and expenses would be obtained. Thank you very much.
Very well. I therefore propose the question that clause 60 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 60 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 60 is amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 61.
I propose the question that clause 61 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 61 be amended as shown on the order paper entirely, and this is to introduce some payments to provide for an efficient deterrent mechanism against breach of trust. That's why the fines have gone up slightly more. I beg to move.
I propose the question that clause 61 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 61 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 61 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 62.
I propose the question that clause 62 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 62 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 63.
I propose the question that clause 63 be amended. I propose the question that clause 63 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 63 be amended as shown on the order paper, purely to introduce the certificate of registration and incorporation, so that these are the documents to be kept in the register of the trust. Thank you very much.
Very well. I therefore propose the question that clause 63 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 63 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 63 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, and 74.
I propose the question that clauses 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, and 74 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, and 74 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 75.
I propose the question that clause 75 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 75 be amended as shown on the order paper, and this is where we are increasing the proposed administrative penalty from 500 shillings to 3,000 shillings. I beg to move.
I propose the question that clause 75 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 75 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 75 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 76 and 77.
I propose the question that clauses 76 and 77 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 76 and 77 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 78.
I propose the question that clause 78 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 78 be amended as shown on the order paper. This is where we are conferring the registrar to disclose information to. We are introducing the regulatory bodies, and we are also introducing another word in D. Instead of reporting entity, it should actually be reporting institution. I beg to move.
Very well. I therefore propose the question that clause 78 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 78 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 78 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 79, 80, 81, and 82.
I propose the question that clauses 79, 80, 81, and 82 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 79, 80, 81, and 82 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 83.
I propose the question that clause 83 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 83 be amended as shown on the order paper, and that is at paragraph 3D, which as a repetitive toothy typographical error we are correcting. I beg to move.
Very well. I therefore propose the question that clause 83 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 83 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as that have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 83 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as that have that opinion say aye? Will as many as that have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 84.
I propose the question that clause 84 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 84 be amended as shown on the order paper. And the reason for this is to allow other persons authorized by a trust deed to initiate the dissolution. That's why we are doing this.
Very well. I propose the question that clause 84 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 84 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as that have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 84 is amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as that have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, and 94.
I propose the question that clauses 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, and 94 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, and 94 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 95.
I propose the question that clause 95 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 95 be amended as shown on the order paper. And this is where we are making it a provision to include the processes and procedures of applying for exemption in regulations which are to be made by the Honorable Attorney General. I beg to move.
Very well. I therefore propose the question that clause 95 be amended as proposed by the chair. I put the question that clause 95 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 96.
Hold on. I now put the question that clause 95 is amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 96 and 97.
I propose the question that clauses 96 and 97 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 96 and 97 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 94A.
Mover to move second reading.
Thank you very much. I beg to move that the new clause 94A be now read a second time. And this is where we are proposing that a charitable trust registered or incorporated under this act may apply to the Attorney General for exemption from any of the provisions of this particular act. And the rationale is to make a provision for exempting charitable trusts from any of the provisions herein due to their unique nature of operation. I beg to move and request the chairperson of the Finance Committee to second.
No. There is no seconding on this one. Honorable Honorable Chairperson, I know when we move, we always look for a seconder. But on this one, allow me to propose the question that the new clause 94A be now read a second time. I now put the question that new clause 94A be now read a second time. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I propose the question that the new clause 94A be part of the bill. I now put the question that the new clause 94A be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 96A.
Mover, move to.
Thank you very much.
The second reading.
I beg to move a second reading of the new clause 96A, which provides for the business registration service to expand the functions of the business registration service to include trusts. We have had companies, we have had partnerships and firms. Now we want trusts also to come under the business registration service. I beg to move.
Very well. I propose the question that the new clause 96A be now read a second time. I put the question that the new clause 96A be now read a second time. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I propose the question that the new clause 96A be part of the bill. I now put the question that the new clause 96A be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 2.
I propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much. I beg to move that clause 2 be amended as shown on the order paper, and this is purely to define two words, beneficial owner and the trust deed, because we felt that definitions were not adequate, especially because they were tying them to the Companies Act, which ought not to be the case. I beg to move.
Very well. I therefore propose the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 2 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Long title.
I propose the question that the long title be the title of the bill. Mover, you have an amendment?
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that the long title of the bill be amended as shown on the order paper. And what we are doing is to remove the words reform, because in our view, we are making a law to consolidate the two acts, the Trustees Act and the Perpetual Succession Act, into one law. So we have to remove reform because we aren't reforming any, while also reform is exclusive jurisdiction of the Kenya Law Reform Commission. I beg to move.
Very well. I therefore propose the question that the long title be the long title of the bill. I now put the question. I propose, allow me to take that again. I propose the question that the long title be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that the long title be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that the long title as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Title.
I propose the question that the title be the title of the bill. I now put the question that the title be the title of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, we have come to the end of that committee. I'll call the mover to move reporting. The mover is the majority leader. Member for Marsabit.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Trust Administration Bill, National Assembly Bill number 29 of 2026 and its approval, therefore with amendments.
I know it always looks like therefore, but it's always thereof.
Oh, thereof.
Very well. Honorable members, I put the question, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Trust Administration Bill, National Assembly Bill number 29 of 2026, and its approval thereof with amendments. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Honorable members, Mr. Speaker,
Chairperson to report.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the Trust Administration Bill, National Assembly Bill number 29 of 2026, and approved the same with amendments.
Well done. Move of the bill.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I also request Minority Party Whip, Honorable Millie, to second the motion for agreement with the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Mr. Speaker, I do second.
Honourable members, I accordingly propose the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Is it move that I put the question? Members, I therefore put the question, which is order. Order. Yeah, that's how it's done. So you stand like that, you don't even blow your nose until I finish. Members, I now put the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Will as another opinion say aye? Aye. Will as those opinion say nay? Ayes have it. Move for third reading.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Trust Administration Bill, National Assembly Bill number 29 of 2026 be now read a third time, and I also request Honorable Jematia to second.
Thank you. I beg to second.
Go ahead. Hello, members. I therefore propose the question, which is that the Trust Administration Bill, National Assembly Bill number 29 of 2026, be now read a third time. The Honorable Kaken, go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, while thanking the House for passing this bill, it is very important to know that we have passed a very consequential bill. As a trustee myself of an ongoing trust, this will change the whole scenario on how trusts are run. Before, we used to register these trusts in the Ministry of Lands. They were moved to the company's registry, but now it is very clear that the company's registry has been mandated specifically to register trusts. We hope that because of this mandate, the company's registry, the business registry, will therefore now be more efficient than the Ministry of Lands. That the establishment of trusts is going to be a very important thing going forward, where people do not want to hold properties as individuals, but in fact hold them as trustees. Mr. Speaker, I beg to support.
Thank you. All members, I now put the question, which is that the Trust Administration Bill, National Assembly Bill number 29 of 2026, be now read a third time. As many other opinions say aye. Aye. As many other opinions say nay. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to consolidate laws relating to the registration, incorporation, management, and regulation of trusts and trustees and for connected purposes. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Members, as you may remember or recall, order number 7 was put over generally, and we are now going back to it. And I will start with the Honorable Member for Malava.
Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44.2c, I wish to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding the delayed completion of the Kakamega-Webuye A1 road. Honorable Speaker, the construction of Kakamega-Webuye A1 road commenced in 2016 under the Kenya National Highway Authority, KENHA, to serve as a key transport corridor in Western Kenya region, serving among other constituencies, Malava, Shinyalu, Lurambi, and Lugari. The contract was initially awarded to VIL Limited, but was subsequently terminated due to non-performance, and the works reassigned to Jiangxi Zhongmei Engineering Construction Company Limited. The project involved rehabilitation of the Kakamega-Webuye section of the Kisumu-Kitale Road, including construction of a service lane at Malava Market, provision of feeder road to Malava Bus Park, installation of adequate culverts along major feeder roads, provision of climbing lanes on steep sections, particularly at Malava Forest, and the construction of footbridge at Isanjiro town. However, the works have stalled and there is no clear communication to residents and other road users regarding the status of the project, the reason for the prolonged delay, or the expected timelines for completion of the construction works. Honorable Speaker, it is against the background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure on the following. First, Mr. Speaker, the details of the contracts awarded for the project, including the respective dates of award, contract sums and terms under which the works were subsequently reassigned. Second, Mr. Speaker, the status of construction of the Kakamega-Webuye Road, A1, including the percentage of the works completed, outstanding works, and expected timelines for completion. Third, Mr. Speaker, the total funds allocated, dispersed, and utilized for the project to date, including any external financing provided. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, the measures being undertaken by the Minister of Roads and Transport and Kenya to ensure expeditious completion of road construction projects within specified timelines. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chairperson, Transport and Infrastructure Committee. The Honorable Komingoi, you heard the question.
Yes, Honorable Speaker.
So
we undertake probably to respond the first week after recess.
First week after recess? The
The
Honorable Ndakwa, the gentleman seated behind you, has undertaken. Do you know him?
On behalf of the chair.
Do you know him? He's called the Honorable Komingoi, he's of Buret. He's in that committee, so follow up with him to ensure that this question is placed before their committee, and you go there and ensure that it's responded to before they bring it back to the House. He has said they'll do so the week we return after recess. Honorable members, for the convenience of the House, as you would be aware that normally we have the majority leader giving a statement on Thursdays of every week. So I will pen the statements for a while and allow the majority leader to go ahead with this usual statement.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44.2a, I rise to present the following statement on behalf of the House Business Committee, which met on Tuesday, 25th August 2026, to prioritize business for consideration during the week. Honorable Speaker, the House is set to proceed on its long recess from tomorrow, Friday, 29th August, and resume our regular sittings for the third part of the fifth session on Tuesday, 29th September 2026 at 2:30 p.m. Honorable Speaker, when the House resumes, it is expected to consider the following business, some of which is listed in today's order paper, should it not be concluded today. One is a second reading of the Public Service Superannuation Scheme Amendment Bill of 2025. Two, Committee of the Whole House on the Kenya Revenue Amendment Bill of 2026 and the Power of Mercy Bill of 2025. Additionally, Honorable Speaker, the House will debate the following motions, should they not be concluded in the course of business today. Inspection visit to the Kenyan Embassy in Rabat, Morocco. Inspection visit to the Kenyan Embassy in Cairo, Egypt. Report on examination of the audited financial statements of various state corporations in the Rift Valley region. 4, the 10th report on examination of the audited financial statements of Egerton University. 5, the 11th report on examination of audited financial statements for various universities. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, I wish to thank all honorable members, committees of this House for the collective industry that enabled us to transact the business that was brought before the House during the sitting period ending today evening. As we take a break later today, I wish members a wonderful recess period as they spend time with their families, rejuvenate and discharge their parliamentary and constituency or county obligations with the people that have sent you to represent them in the August House. The House Business Committee shall reconvene again on Tuesday, 29th September 2026 to schedule business for the rest of that week when that session begins. I now wish to lay this statement on the table of the House, and thank you, Honorable Speaker. And may I wish all our members a restful recess period. As I had said earlier, Honorable Speaker, today is closing day, as the case was be, and I was telling the member for Mavoko, I'm not going to close with him. As we used to do back in those days when we were in school. And my 6-year-old daughter, today, I passed by the house to dress up because I'd come from another public engagement and I was dressed casually. So when I went home to take a shower and change and I dressed up in a suit, she asked me, Daddy, where are you going? I told her I'm going to Parliament and today is closing day. Then she asked me, have you packed snacks? Because she's used to carrying snacks on their closing day. I told her we don't have a party day, as we usually do, but she gave me a small flower, which I promised her I would don on my blazer for closing day as snacks for my colleagues to see. Therefore, you can enjoy the flower since I did not carry snacks for you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. I also wish you a restful, recess, like you wished all of us. So we go back to order number 7, and the Honorable Member for Mavoko, the Honorable Kingola.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also wish the Leader of Majority a happy holiday and tell him he's lucky that he has young children to give him flowers. We only have grandchildren. Now, Honorable Speaker, I stand for request for statement regarding the disappearance of Mr. Jimmy Mutava Mwanzia. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to standing order, to the provision of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the disappearance of Mr. Jimmy Mutava Mwanzia. Honorable Speaker, according to information provided, Mr. Jimmy Mutava Mwanzia, holder of ID that, which I cannot disclose here, a resident of Phase 3 in Morolongo, Machakos County, was last seen on the 27th July 2026 at Binjo Hotel. That is in Morolongo. It is alleged that at the time he was the company of the Officer Commanding Station, the OCS, Morolongo Police Station. It is further alleged that Mr. Mwanzia was subsequently apprehended by police officers who were under the command of the aforementioned OCS. Since that date, the family and relatives have neither heard from him nor established contact with him, and his whereabouts remain unknown. The circumstances surrounding his abduction has also raised serious concerns regarding his safety and welfare. Further, this situation has also subjected his family to immense anxiety, distress, and uncertainty. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. Number 1, a report on the whereabouts of Mr. Jimmy Mutava Mwanzia of ID number that, including the circumstances surrounding his abduction and the status of investigations into the alleged abductions. Number 2, the action taken or being taken against the OCS Morolongo Police Station and any other officer implicated in the alleged abduction of Mr. Jimmy Mutava Mwanzia Number 3, the measures put in place to guarantee the safety, welfare, and constitutional rights of Mr. Jimmy Mutava Mwanzia, and the steps being taken to prevent similar occurrences in citizens. Number 4, the family and residents of Mulongo Phase 3 are asking the chairman to ask the CS Interior, Honorable Mukomen, to produce Jimmy Mutava, dead or alive. If he's dead, we want his body so that we give him a decent burial. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Chairperson, Committee on Administration and Internal Security. Majority Leader, a gentleman has disappeared. His name is Jimmy Mutava Mwanzia. Please.
Honorable Speaker, let me relay to the Chair Security, because it's a matter touching on the disappearance of a human being, and it's a matter of life and death, that the Chair Security picks up the matter and engages with the member within the next 1 week, even when we're on recess, because this is a working recess. Committees will still be sitting, and there is nothing that stops the committee from interrogating the matter and letting the member from Avoko know, and they can in fact invite him to their committee.
That's why your majority. You've given us a very good way forward. This is not waiting for the recess. This will be handled next week. Follow up with the chairperson, the Honorable Tongoyo, and I order that that committee meets that next week to consider this matter so that the family gets to know what's happening. Next. And unless Honorable Kingola, you have anything you want to say?
Honorable Speaker, I've had the leader of majority, but as I said, disappearance of a person who is well known, a business person in Mulongo, and known who he lastly was with, and the policeman who abducted him. Mr. Speaker, it's almost a month, 2 months indeed. We have been making statements. We have gone to High Court Machakos to ask for his immediate finding, but nothing is forthcoming. So, actually, I agree with you that the honorable member of Kikuyu, one is Chungwa Kimani, has the power